So now he's going to be getting another Vespian gas geyser. Note the position of the Dragoons. Very good for defending any type of Vulture Bike harassment. Put out in the line so that a lesser Terran player might assume that there is in fact not that many Dragoons that try to rush by with Vultures and then encounter a long line of Dragoons that would then pick them off. It looks like now Mind is going to try to sneak up an expansion. Is he going to be able to do it, though? With the Reaver and the Dragoons here, he could very easily march over this if he felt like it. Is he going to do it? Dropping his Zealot over there, and then Mind has blown that up. And he is now going to rush in here. But he has to be very, very careful not to lose that shuttle. Mind could have targeted that with his Marines, but did not. Now he's moving in here, and the tank has now been taken out as well. And, oh man, so it is going to be impossible, it looks like, to actually expand for Mind. Mind is suddenly in a very tough position. Having spent that money on the command center, he needs to do everything in his power to get that expansion up. Stork should have some more probes mining at that expansion as well, by the way. So neither player is playing completely perfectly. So with the Reaver, he will be able to, I believe, control this position. We will find out soon enough, although the shuttle is very fragile. So the next group of Dragoons is going to join and do whatever it takes to hold off this expansion for as long as possible. Now, Mind has to be careful because that command center could even be picked if Stork can find the right spot to do so in. Looks like Stork's going to use that observer bug over on that turret. A bug that got him in trouble at WCG, but a bug that is legal in this tournament. Now we see an upgrade also for Mind. A much later upgrade than Flash. It seemed that Mind was more confident in pushing out and securing that other expansion and then bringing this out into a macro game. And Stork is just right outside the defensive line. Oh my gosh, no, he's actually going to try to move in here, possibly to pick off these units, but this may be unwise. It's hard to say, though. I don't have a very good shot of how many units he actually has. He's lost the shuttle and will soon lose the Reaver. He may have overstepped his boundaries. And indeed he has. And now Stork will have to back off without the shuttle, without the Reaver. Stork suddenly realizing he made a big mistake. Mind may have gained a surprising advantage from that. From Stork's complete and total blunder there. And now Mind responds by sending out a few Vultures to zip around and see if he can't pick off some probes and get a little bit farther ahead. Stork has retreated from his offensive position and is now entering a defensive one. He does have cannons up. I'm curious to see if Stork will end up protecting his carriers on this map. That's probably a pretty healthy tech pattern to follow if you've gone Reavers. Hold on a sec, I gotta take this blazer off. I look like a noob wearing that thing. Okay, we're back. So, how will Mind handle this? What are Mind's options at this given moment? Because it's still a long ways away to try to push the Protoss. But the time to do it would probably be now. I do see a Templar Archive. We may have Arbiters coming in. Some Vulture Bikes on the move, planting some mines in the location where Stork's forces are not. And now moving in here to pick off a few probes. Actually, more than a few. It looks like he could get all these probes if Stork does not pull them out in time. And he has now managed to escape with most of his Vultures. The clock is ticking, the sand is running out of the hourglass, and there is going to be a moment very soon here where Mind is going to take his entire army and attempt to move across the map and just completely and totally squash Stork. And moments like this when you're losing the probes are exactly what helps Mind gain that advantage and gain that momentum. And as we can see, Stork is already starting to struggle with the architecture of this map. We see a Vulture Bike surround coming in here, and a few mines being laid. Oh man, it's not quite as much damage as I thought might happen, but softened up a few Dragoons anyways. As I was saying, the architecture of this map makes it very difficult, at least for Stork it seems, to keep up with these Vulture Bikes, which can now zip around in so many different angles and pick off so many different probes. This is the map that both players felt most comfortable on. It was both of them, excuse me, I'm good at English, hold on. They both picked this map as their favorite, and the result was that the next two maps had to be randomized. So clearly they both have a lot of confidence on this map. But man, Stork is just expanding too fast, and if this push of mines does not do the right amount of damage, I think it could be GG. Here comes Stork moving in, but it would probably be more wise to move back out. This is very poorly controlled by Stork. The units are just clumping together. Oh no! He attempted to drop a few Templars for Stork, but one actually got picked off. So Storm was his poise in this game. He did want to use a few Templars inside the shuttle to storm those units, but now I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Here comes Mind moving across the map at a rapid rate. Stork forcing him to siege and then backing off to slow down the push. Anything that he can possibly use to try to gain some time. Now backing up. And let's be honest, he's not doing the cleanest job of this push delay. In fact, he's losing a lot of units. They're all bumping into each other like this is Three Stooges movie or something. Total chaos in an attempt to delay that push. More gateways being thrown up. I don't see an Arbiter or Tribunal, so I'm not sure if we're actually going to see any Arbiters at all. And it looks like this expansion will now be of no use. This mines can cut off the critical circulation from these gateways to these other expansions. Mines can usually cut off the rest of these points as well. Now it looks like, yes, this expansion has remained untouched. And here comes a possible attempt to save this expansion, but a nice unsiege save by the player Mind. And here comes a push continuing. Mines being laid. And Jealous Intergoats moving out. A storm possible right now, and it looks like the storms have in fact been effective, but were they in time? I don't know if these Dragoons can actually do enough damage, and no, they cannot. Vulture fight. Oh, wow. Bad news for Stork. I don't think he's going to be able to take it out of this game now. His mind has gained too much control, and now one siege tank over here can cut off any economic advantage that Stork had. And Mind, all he has to do now is get this one expansion in the middle right, and it's going to be over. And GG! Mind is 1-0 against Stork in what turned out to be a very exciting game. As they go to the African Intel Classic Season 1. So Mind is up one game already. After both players decided was their favorite map, the map choice, the map they wanted to play on more than any other map. The next